Good morning, everybody. It's Marty, the JavaScript party, and it is Wednesday, the 17th of June. I was sick as a dog for the last 3 days. It was awful. I definitely feel pretty good today. I don't know exactly. It's hard to tell when you're starting to feel better, like when you're better or not, because you feel better. Your body's been creating all kinds of chemicals and hormones and everything to try to make you be able to contend with whatever you're dealing with. And then whatever you're dealing with starts to ease and then you feel better, but you still have those extra chemicals. So you feel great, but you're probably feeling better than you actually are. It's probably one of the critical moments. That's why a lot of people just keep getting sick over and over again is like once they start to feel better, they're like, I feel better. I made a video yesterday. It's horrible. It's absolutely terrible. Um, and I can't even upload it because my son's dog, Roxy, oh my gosh, this dog is amazing. Her ability to be a naughty dog is just incredible. But Roxy decided that she was going to assert her dominance right there on that spot on a pillow. And she's just going to town, and it just is absolutely not appropriate. I didn't even notice it because I was completely out of it. Um, so I can't put it up, but I did notice something, and it was just like a mind-blowing experience that I've never, like, I can't believe I didn't notice this yet. It was like one of those things that's right in front of your face the whole time. And I've been sort of working on it anyways, but the idea is that every day I come in, or like the background, the narrative is that every day, every couple of days I come in and I go, oh, I'm going to turn something into a component. I'm going to take something and I'm going to refactor it and I'm going to move it down so that it's its own standalone component. And sometimes I predict that it's going to take 10 minutes and it takes days. It takes 3 hours, 4 hours. And then other times I say this is going to take a while and it happens instantly. And I've been trying to figure out, okay, what is it? What is the piece of the puzzle? And yesterday, since I was sort of in a fever state kind of situation, I actually could clear everything was coming slower. My brain was functioning at a slower pace, which then gave other parts of my brain time to sort of reanalyze things and all that. And the thing was that became very clear to me is add update layout is three pieces, right? This, and this. I have three components that I need to break them into, which is what one of the things I did yesterday. And then those components need to be able to talk to each other. So I need a service, and that service would maintain the state and handle communications in between these. So if somebody needs to know something, that service is where to go find out. If someone needs to say something, that service is where it needs to go to find out. See something, say something. Hear something, like that's its job is to, hey, if you need me to if you need to tell something to anybody that might be curious. If you know something that other components might want to know, then that's your job, is to know that and to make it to where other components can get that information. So simple and obvious. And then I was looking at this and I was like, well, when I pull this out, this is deeply coupled with the the TypeScript. So this is going to be hard to pull out. But this text that was in here was just text. It was just some text that was in there. So it was super simple because there was no coupling. We are not coupled in between those things. And coupling is nice because it makes things easier to like think about. And sometimes when you're deep in code, being able like to get your grounding and understand exactly what you're doing is really helpful. And that's not always the case. So deep coupling is very, very helpful, but it is also makes it fragile. It makes it very difficult to lift and shift things, to move things around. That's where like some sort of communication scheme, and RxJS was the perfect solution for that. The only problem is RxJS gets very confusing very quickly. So signals ended up being the perfect solution for that. So back in Angular 2, I was probably trying to break things up with like a service in between things, but like RxJS, everything's just got really icky and complicated. So I just sort of naturally moved, stayed away from that. But now Signals has sort of addressed those issues, and it makes a lot of sense to not have these sorts of deep coupling with the parent component or with a component with the TypeScript of the component or the parent's component, and you're guaranteed to have absolute nightmare scenarios if you go two-layer grandparent coupling. That is almost always ends in tears. So that is the sort of the phenomenon, the thing that became very clear to me. It's like a kind of a bad habit that I had to learn in Angular 2 and Angular. I think it went Angular 2, 3, and then skipped 4, and then went to Angular 5. Um, in those early days, I learned something that probably does not serve me today, but I think I'm ahead of the crowd. I think most people aren't aware, I mean, are still stuck in those earlier days, pre-signals days, and I think, and literally stuck like they're on Angular 16 or below. Um, and then I think anybody new coming in never was exposed to those early days. So, like the way that if you're in Angular 16 and you're coding things kind of the way I did it in Angular 16, you probably look absolutely insane to a brand new developer. Like you just look like, I don't know why that old guy's doing that, that old girl's doing that. Why is she doing that? What is she thinking? That's bizarre. And it's like they don't have the sensitivity to realize that no, back in Angular 2 and everything below before 16, that was just not available. So anyways, so we pulling this out. We basically have an app layout, three component made up of a parent component and then three child components, and then that and a service to sort of glue them all together. And that is the dream that people wanted. I don't think I have anything in here yet. All I did was kind of do this. Um, and I generally don't like to code in that way where like I kind of spread out a bunch of things and then start to connect them together. I kind of like to build and then like kind of bloop, here's a new child component, and then oh, here's another one, oh, here's another one, and then sort of make everything work as it's possible, which I think was the better way to do it before Signals. But now that Signals exists and they're just so nice, I think it makes a lot of sense. I don't. No one gives me a darn thing to say that Signals is better than RxJS, and I will say that like there are things that RxJS can do that I think that there, I don't know this for a fact actually. If I were to actually look at actual facts, I don't know. But I strongly believe that there's things that you could do in RxJS, like throttling, for example, debouncing, things like that, that are just dirt easy in RxJS that are very, very difficult in Signals. So, that's um, like there's definitely like it would be good to learn RxJS. I don't know that I would at this point, but it probably would be good. Anyways, I am out of time already. Back to work today. Happy coding, everybody. Sorry I didn't do any coding at all. I just sort of had to explain why yesterday's video is never going to see the light of day. I'm not going to delete it, but it's never going to see the light of day. It's weird, real weird. And I had a video before that that was one of my short videos, and I only had one. I had a comment. Someone felt like, and they just said, "What?" question mark. And now that I look at that video, I'm like, yeah, I'm completely incoherent in that video, and that video makes no sense at all. And it's because I sort of made that video based on the previous video, but most people won't ever see the previous video. Those videos are all. Most videos should probably be standalone in nature. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.